Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews. To talk more Kevin Can Fuck Himself. Today we're doing Season 1, Episode 5. It's called New Patty. First off, how's everybody doing today? Second off, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. If you're a returning subscriber, don't forget to hit the like button anyway. Hit the bell for all notifications, sharing, all that stuff. Thank you guys again for watching this show. I don't think a lot of people are talking about it still, but I'm really enjoying it as each episode goes on. It says in the preview that there's only 3 episodes left. They didn't say this season, so we might be getting like just one season show. And if they can wrap it up right, if they can do it right, I hope so. But I do see where this plot could go on at this point in the story. But again, I hope it doesn't go on for very long. If they do more than one season, they could have a thing where there's a cliffhanger and then they don't figure out. Because I, in the end, do not think, and I'm going to predict it right now, that Kevin will die by Allison's hands. If anything, this episode kind of gives you an idea of how Kevin might die in real life, which is he lets it slip that the doctors say he needs a quadruple bypass. So, I mean, all they'd really have to do is have Kevin have a massive heart attack and die. With the lifestyle that he lives, the fast food and the drinking and everything else, honestly, his lifestyle might kill him before Allison or Patty or both could ever get a chance to. Another thing to talk about, and it's been coming up in the conversation in the comment section, and I keep wanting to get to it, and today we're finally talking about it, and that's really how we set this show up. We've been following Allison. She's having she wants to get rid of Kevin out of her life. He's a very frustrating and inconsiderate person. And so, we kind of side with her wanting to get out of this. But as the show proceeds, we see that, Allison is no innocent in anything. In fact, if anything, I'd almost say that these two characters deserve each other a little bit. A little bit. Nobody deserves to be talked to and treated like Kevin. But Kevin doesn't beat her. He just is so inconsiderate on this huge level that the marriage should be over. It should not be continuing. So then it goes back to, why doesn't she leave? I don't know. Because, but again, we talked about this. I don't want to get into a massive thing that I don't know about. Okay, I'm not married, never have been married. I don't really ever see myself getting married. Marriage to me is just, I kind of am on like Patty's side on things, where it's like if you're with somebody and you care about each other, then why do you necessarily need a piece of paper to go about with it, except for you want somebody to legally be bound to you, and then make it messy. And I know it's tradition, and that's what everybody just does. And, you get tax breaks and things like that. But I just don't see the value in marriage. But that's just me. Maybe I haven't met the right person. But we also got to talk about Allison's role in this and how she affects things around her. She affects people around her. She's pulling people into this with her, not just herself. Now she's got Patty, but she's also got Sam. She's making her own mistakes. She's making herself look as bad as Kevin is in a lot of ways. She's only seeing it from her perspective. So like when she goes and quits her job and goes immediately to Sam's with a bottle of booze under her arm, and they fuck just like they did when they first knew each other. She got him to cheat on whoever he was going out with at the time, and now he's married, and she's still doing that same thing. She's hurting that person. But what? What did Sam's wife do? Nothing. They saw each other in the makeup store, the makeup store, whatever, the beauty store. Again, it is 7:40 in the morning, and I just woke up when I watched this and review it. So, apologize. My eyes are kind of glazy and watery. But there was a conversation happening there. She's like, "Hey, how are you?" She hugs her. Maybe it was all forced, but it didn't feel fake. It did feel sincere. So, why is she doing this to this? What's her name? Jen. What has Jen done to her other than have something that she wants? And so she's going out of her way to screw up Sam's relationship. And you could say, oh, well, Sam, and her have this unresolved thing. Maybe that's Sam's deal. Sam shouldn't have let this happen. Maybe he's got his own marital issues he needs to work out. But, because it does take two to tango, right? But still, pulling him into this shows that she lacks the same kind of a maturity as Kevin does in a lot of ways. And this is all starting to look like, from the outside looking in, one of those episodes of investigation discovery shows, where you could just see, like, the show that they'd be talking about. Like, Worcester, Massachusetts, 2021. Allison, and Kevin seemed to have a storybook marriage a long time ago. High school sweethearts. And then cut to, like, all these years later. And then they start to show all the little pieces of their life that showed, like, the downward spiral and, like, how she got into wanting to steal Oxy and all this other stuff. They would make her look like the villain. They would make him look like, well, no. Wait. This would probably be, they would probably flip it to make it like Kevin look like the villain, but then, like, or at least understand what Allison was gonna do, and then start to flip it a little bit. And that's exactly what this show is doing. Is we side with Allison, then we realize that she's making as many bad mistakes as he, her mistakes. I'm saying it stupidly. I think maybe you guys are understanding what I'm going with this. He's bad and she's bad. That's why I kind of say they almost deserve each other. Because really, she should just leave. And again, I know that it's not as easy as it sounds for some people out there. That could trigger some people just saying that. Like, how dare you? You don't know. But I have seen my share of people stuck in bad relationships, and I do know how hard it is to leave. But that is the option. And we also see more about Patty in this episode. That, where is she in this group? Right? We have Kevin in the sitcom world finding out about their trip, and all he cares about is that they didn't bring him a burger from Top Dog. He doesn't even care that they didn't go to a beauty expo. He never follows up on any of that. It all comes down to the fast food burger he didn't get, which the as much as I love John Glazer, that they bring in to guest star as Paddy, Paddy, that this part of the episode was pretty weak to me. But it's mostly because it really did follow a sitcom formula that just bores me. The sitcom formulas just bore me because they're not funny and they're cheaply written. But, I mean, it is funny still watching the contrast. But Patty's kicked out of the group because of that betrayal. They bring in this guy, Patty, who scares them, too. And they end up kicking him out for Patty in the end, as a cliched sitcom trope would. But for Patty, this is an important episode because she's not only kicked out of the group, but then when her fiance Kurt, or wannabe fiance Kurt, her long-suffering boyfriend, finds out she didn't even remember that he proposed. She tries to backtrack, and when confronted with everything, she says, "No, we're never getting married." And so he breaks up with her. And his reaction in this scene is one of the best acting in the episode. Sure, probably the best acting in the whole episode, because his kind of like, you feel the rug get pulled out from under him. You feel his stomach drop. Like, you can see it all on his face. He starts to quiver a little bit in his mouth and everything. And he just kind of like goes, you know what, then this is done. So she's not only lost her place in the group, she has lost her boyfriend. The one thing in her life that was actually a positive. She just didn't know it. She doesn't like change. So she lost it in the end to stick with the old patterns. Same as, like Allison, she's trying to shake up her patterns, but all she's doing is making worse mistakes. Now, on top of that with Patty, you've got Robin Lord Taylor's Nick character coming around because you didn't know that, these old ladies weren't just buying pills for themselves. Like, there were people using their aunts and their moms and whoever to get Oxycontin from you. And now that it's dry, you have to answer for this. We need pills. I did find that the fact that the Nick character and the detective showing up at the same time was a little too convenient and a little too that's just goofy. That was just to create more tension. But then the officer asking her to come to some function. Like, is she, I didn't understand that. Where is that going? Come to some function, you'll have fun. And I didn't know if she was maybe hitting on her. I don't know. Like, maybe maybe she's like asking her out on a date, and it's just some weird cop thing. I don't know, but it could be some sort of like, not scared straight, but like some kind of like way to show her what she's in for. Like maybe she's trying to help her out in a little bit, like to give up somebody else. I don't know. But, we have, like, Allison again. She goes to Sam, has him recreate the murder burger that's from Top Dog, and we think that she's going to give it to Kevin after she has the conversation with Patty, because now Patty, without the group, without her boyfriend, and now you've got the drug dealers, pushing on her back. She's telling her, look, if I go down, we both go down. And if you plan to kill Kevin, if you really plan to kill Kevin, and it doesn't work, what do you do then? Because it makes a good point that Kevin is a tank. You would have to probably feed this guy a ton of pills to kill him, and one bottle might not be enough. And since he seems to be able to bounce back from just about anything, if you don't kill him and he, what do you accomplish there? You could actually make him more suspicious if you make him feel awful after something you ate. After he eats, I mean. And it also, she tries to spin it so that the motive would be on her. But now the new plan is to try to spin it so that Kevin looks like the drug dealer the whole time, and that he would have to find a bloody, violent death, which would mean outsourcing. So I can see the wheels turning in Patty's head that try to set up Robin Lord Taylor's Nick character into killing Kevin so that he'd go down for killing him and being the drug dealer. Like, get him off her back, right? Say that he killed Kevin looking for drugs. So he'd go to jail for that, and Kevin would be out of the way for Allison in a hit. Now, they make it sound like, oh, this is a really great idea, but it's not. How many of these shows do you have to watch? The investigation shows where it's like somebody hires a hitman. They're leaving way too many loose ends. They're leaving too many like questions up in the air as to far as like things that could go wrong. But I really do think that this is headed in an interesting direction where, again, if they just wait things out, but they can't. But there's 3 episodes left. The trailer from next week shows Allison really being obvious about her and Sam in front of Jen. Patty sees it. And then we've got more with the drug situation. So I do feel like this could be wrapped up in one season, and I hope it is. But again, like I said, I think I can see where they're headed with it if they wanted to do another season after this, where just, it doesn't quite work out. You know, maybe they get like caught up in a thing where Kevin finds out what's going on or something, and maybe Kevin tries to go after Allison. I don't know. But I want to thank everybody again for watching. I want to thank everybody for subscribing. And I know that this is kind of the weirder review that I've done, but I've had a really busy schedule this week, and so trying to fit Kevin in was kind of difficult. So this was the opening in my schedule at 7 in the morning to get all this done. So if you did happen to like this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, and the bell for all notifications. Should have worn these the whole time. If for some reason you hated this, we can give you a better memory. So those of you who did like it, please like, subscribe, all that, and look away. Those of you who didn't, look right here, and we'll give you a different memory. Since Allison quit her job this week, I wanted to share with you the memory that I have of one of the best ways to quit your job ever. Bye.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.